You know what Amy does? Sometimes when she laughs, she pees a little.
That's from one of the most successful sitcoms from 1996 to 2005. These guys kept my eyes glued to the TV. I was really interested in the comedy, the timing, just the cultural differences you find in different households, you know, and I got a chance to watch Everybody Loves Raymond until it was finally ended. For whatever reason, it had to end. And, man, I saw this guy walking around the hallways a couple of weeks ago, and I was telling our guy, Spence, yo, I know that guy. That's Phil Rosenthal, right? He was like, yeah, Everybody Loves Raymond. Creator, writer, executive producer, yeah. What is he doing now? Nobody can answer the question. So I said, well, let's invite him up and figure it out.
Yes.
Phil Rosenthal's here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Phil, how you doing, man?
I love being here. You guys are, what a party you got going on
Come
here.
on, man.
You got to like even extra people.
Yeah, well, it's a good time up here, man. We call them extra mouths here, Phil. Everybody got to eat.
But they look happy. They're having bagels and schmears and juice. What are you drinking? What's that green stuff?
Oh, this is from Six Juices, a Power 6 pineapple mixed greens and lemons. What you know about that?
And it makes you feel good?
Yeah,
Doo-doo
man.
water.
What did you call it?
It's straight doo-doo water, right?
Doo-doo water.
Doo-doo water, man.
Which
Yeah,
means
they're
your
opening a
systems.
shop in the lobby.
Yeah, but it means your systems are clear. You should be
need that.
pooping
You
regularly.
need that. Get him some. Get Phil. Get our guest some.
I got a little coffee. That's,
needs to poop
I'm
it.
old school.
Okay, that's still doo-doo water. Yeah. Still has the same effect. We're going to talk about Somebody Feed Phil. That's his new show on Netflix. But before we do that, man,
Yes.
why did Everybody Loves Raymond, why did it end?
It's very simple. We ran out of ideas.
Really?
Really. 210 episodes, 9 years. That's a lot of anything. And, you know, there's an old show business saying, you should get off the stage before somebody says, hey, you should get off the stage. Right?
Let that breathe. Hold up. Let that breathe. That's a lot of game for a lot of people in the music business should be hearing that right now.
But everybody.
Yeah.
For everyone. We all know the shows that have stayed too long,
Yeah.
right? We all know the movies that go on too long, right? And when you're finished saying what you needed to say. And we were actually finished. A lot of shows don't get that opportunity. We were very lucky. They either stay way too long because money's coming in, or they get canceled. So we actually got to have the correct ending, what we thought was the proper ending for our show.
I like that. Phil Rosenthal is here. Now, Everybody Loves Raymond. How much of that show, the storyline behind that show, was actually based on you?
It was a pretty good mix of, Ray's actual family situation. He really had parents who lived close by, an older brother who was jealous of him, and he had 3 little kids. But what I didn't know about those people, I filled in with the personalities of my family. Like my parents and even my relationship with my wife and everything. Then my wife was actually in the show. Yeah. She married the brother. Monica Haran Rosenthal is my wife, and there's actually an interesting story how she got the part. She slept with the producer.
Damn! Oh, fighting against that, Phil.
I recommend it.
No,
Harvey. Be careful.
Oh, stop, man. Real up.
You know I'm not like that.
Okay.
You can tell by looking at me.
Okay. I hope so. You know, I grew up watching a lot of legendary sitcoms.
We were married already, by the way.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's a joke, people. Look at the looks I'm getting.
I like it.
Well, I knew the joke. That's probably why I was talking.
Phil, the Me Too movement is outside waiting for you.
Oh, boy.
No, we were married. It's jokes. I make jokes.
You were banging out the actress.
Oof.
Oh. Listen, by the way, we were married, so it was very unusual that she would sleep with me.
That's funny. That's hilarious, actually.
You got to. I ain't mad at that.
I know.
All right. Is there a formula that you found? Like, what was the? I'm gonna come back to that. I'll wait for that. Somebody Feed Phil.
Yes.
Now I watched this and I was like, I watched it without any preconceived notions on what it's about. I didn't even know it was really about food. I just knew you were coming on the show, and it turned out it is about food and adventure, right, and culture.
You got it.
All right, what made you? Why?
So we did an episode of Raymond. I don't know if you know the episode where we went to Italy So that came about because Ray, I asked him, where are you going for your hiatus, your vacation in between seasons? And he said, I go to the Jersey Shore. And I said, oh, yeah, you ever been to Europe? And he goes, no. And I said, why not? He goes, I'm not really interested in other cultures.
No.
He literally said that.
He said it to me.
Okay.
And I my mouth dropped open. I said, what? Not even Italy, where your family's from? You're not interested in that culture? Yeah. I don't like traveling. I got to do that show. Got to do the show where we send him to Italy as him and send him back as me. Someone excited about Italy and traveling in general, and the food in Italy, and the people in Italy, and the scenery, and everything. So it took me a few years to convince him and to get the money, yes. But I wrote this episode where the character, Raymond, goes there not wanting to go, and then gets woke.
What does he get woke to, man?
He gets woke over a slice of pizza.
That really?
Absolutely. I want you to watch it. If you haven't seen it, it's probably somewhere.
Okay.
You can see it. But that moment, I'm telling you, it's what I wrote for the character, for the thing to happen, for the change, but I saw it happen to the person.
In real life.
I saw it in his eyes. I saw it. He got it. He got it. He got it. Every night when we were filming there, he goes, hey, did you see this pizza place over here? Yes, rated a lot of pizza in Italy. Yeah, let's go. Hey, have you had this gelato from this? No, I haven't tried that one. Come on, let's go. Hey, another pizza place. Let's go. In the same night, we went to 3 or 4 pizzas and then gelatos and pizzas and gelatos. And he was so happy.
Yeah.
I got it. I said, I got to do this for other people. There's nothing, if you're in music or anything, there's nothing better than turning someone on to something you love.
So other than pizza and gelato, did he see the architecture, the art, the historical landmarks?
He would say stuff like, wow, this is old.
Phil Rosenthal is here. So that's what that was sparked Somebody Feed Phil. That's what sparked the
So that was the year 2000. So since then, I've been having this idea in the back of my head. And I did a show for PBS. I'll have what Phil's having. Netflix picked that up. And then they said, you want to keep going with Netflix? Yes, I do. And so we'll change the name. We'll rebrand it. And you'll be on all over the world.
So Netflix just picked your show up just like that.
That's how it happens.
That's what Monique was sitting there talking about all last week. Monique got a point.
What happened? What happened?
No, they didn't want to pay her no money. They only want to give her $500K. And
I'm not getting very much at all. But I do have the best job in the world.
Right.
So I'm not complaining. I think it's amazing. I think, they pushed a button last Friday, and suddenly all 6 episodes that we shot are on every country on the earth except for North Korea and Syria.
Well,
Yes.
Damn.
They'll get there.
Well, how does the show get greenlit on, let's say, a TV
Shit.
network versus Netflix? Because you put a pilot for a TV show, and then it has to be a certain number of viewers. And things
Monique
like that.
got a point, man.
I got to know Monique's point. I don't understand.
Okay, I'm gonna play it back for you. Go
Okay.
ahead.
No, I was just asking how a show gets
How it works
greenlit.
that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So at Netflix, it seems like if they like the premise and they like your work from the past, they can give you a go-ahead. You know what they're spending on content this year? Just producing movies and shows for 1 year, what they're going to spend? Anyone have any idea?
Couple billion.
100 million.
Let's go with a T.
come on, Heather.
What's the T for?
Surely.
No.
That's president.
I went 100 million. Because look, they gave Chappelle.
100 million
think about it.
Is not enough.
That's not enough.
That's
No.
Chappelle's 2 specials almost, basically.
Let's say 5 billion.
8 billion.
Yeah.
8 billion?
Okay.
They're
Yes.
spending 8 billion on
Yeah.
content?
Yeah, I got 4 of it.
Wow. Phil Rosenthal, man. On Netflix. All right. This is really interesting. Phil goes deeper than just TV, too. Right, Mike Muse?
Yeah, Phil. So on this show, we talk a lot about politics.
Oh, boy.
On a very regular basis.
Oh, my goodness.
And
I'm
speaking
in
of
trouble now.
Speaking of cultures and countries
Yes.
and Syria, which you just mentioned too, we know that you were one of 98 members of the Jewish community in Los Angeles that signed on in support of the Iran nuclear deal with 6 other countries.
Yes.
Currently, our President Trump, he feels very differently about the Iran nuclear deal. What is it that how did you arrive to your opinion that it was a good deal for the world, essentially?
Well, from what I read, it seemed like the only deal to be made and something that would curb that kind of nuclear proliferation. Listen, I'm for cutting back nukes in every country. What are we doing? How many do you need? It only takes one to blow us up.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I'd be very happy if we didn't have any of them. But you're talking to somebody who'd be very happy if there were no guns. So I know Second Amendment people. I'm not saying that you should throw your guns away, but the kind of weapons that kill people at a rapid pace, you're telling me that there's no distinguishing there? That we can't have common sense and say if you're crazy, maybe you don't get a gun? You can't even say that?
That makes sense.
But a lot doesn't make sense today. My little show, my little food and travel show, I'm just putting out something nice.
Somebody feed Phil.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right? I'm here to say most of the world is nice and good. There are people spouting fear and hate in high places. And I'm telling you, as I go around the world, literally go around the world, not only are most people wonderful and sweet and nice and great, but this is a generalization, most of them are better than their governments.
Ooh, I like that. Phil Rosenthal, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Phil.
Heather, you got a question for Phil?
I do have a question for Phil. I read once that some creative people like to move outside of their home to create. Like in particular, one creator had a separate little apartment where he just went to write ideas and do different things to be away from his wife and children. And since you just started laughing, and I was just wondering if you could just
wasn't about writing.
if you could just let us in a little bit to how you create. Is it easy to create in a house with a bunch of things going on, and what's your process like?
Ideas come when they come. You could be in the shower, you could be in bed, you could be anywhere. So I actually write a lot in bed. I like it.
Wow, really? You keep a notebook and everything?
I have a computer notebook. Yeah, 25, 30 years ago I had a
Dang,
notebook.
Heather, they got
But
computers.
then they
now.
have this
Sorry,
new
Phil.
thing out called the computer.
Sorry,
So I have a
Phil.
laptop and I have the little bed desk thing that has a soft bottom and it has a hard top, and you put your laptop on that and you sit in bed. Why get up?
Type of way. Yeah, why get up? Okay.
You go when the ideas come. By the way, we all have the phone, and you can say, "Hey, phone, take a note. This, and this," and then you have it. Listen, I tell anybody who wants to write, it's easier to write stuff down every day. It's easier to write things down than to write. You
Break
see?
that down, Phil.
If
Come
you
on,
just-
man. You drop
If you just keep a record of your day, a journal. A lot of people keep a journal, a diary. You know, at the end of a week, you're going to have some material there.
Yeah.
And then you go into it. You say, you know what? Maybe I could do something with that idea. Or that was funny that happened. Maybe I can expand on that. And now you're not starting with a blank page. If somebody told you, right now, write me a story, you'd go, well, I can't. You know, I don't know. Is it going to be good? But if you went home tonight and just kind of wrote down your thoughts of the day, you'd have something. You'd have something to start with. So that's essential.
You hear that, DB?
I'm already taking
Okay,
notes.
cool.
Yeah,
Phil
that's
Rosenthal
great.
giving game.
Yeah,
Somebody
man.
feed him. Somebody feed Phil, man.
Somebody feed
He's
Phil, man.
hungry.
Phil's starving.
Phil,
The show reminds you, the title reminds you of, like, if you have a dog and you forgot about him. Hey, somebody feed Phil.
Yeah. My dog is lucky. Somebody feed Lucky.
Lucky got his own series.
Don't say that.
I'm the dog.
Phil, do you think that all creatives are crazy? We oftentimes hear that.
I do think that sometimes the same thing that makes you good at your job is the same thing that makes you crazy. You know, that kind of obsessiveness, or, you know, I'm no good at talking to people one-on-one, so I'm going to go in a corner and write because it scares me to have that kind of interaction. And so I channel all my interaction into my laptop, right? Everybody's different, but that can happen. And we all meet actors who are terribly insecure that they think if they're not getting the biggest trailer or the biggest, you know, list of demands on their waivers, that the world somehow isn't giving them respect.
Yeah.
So everything comes from insecurity. All the negative crap in the world comes from insecurity.
It all comes from insecurity.
Even
Wow.
the biggest bullies, the people with the most power in the country at the moment. If I was to do a diagnosis, I'd say, this is an insecure fella. Terribly insecure. Look how much he needs everybody to say great things about him and do, and bow down and be the... Come on.
Well, Phil, if you had the biggest button, maybe you'll be, wanting to boast about it too. Only Phil got that. Only Phil got it.
He
I'm
did.
waiting. Yo.
He got it.
Thank you, Phil. Phil Rosenthal got my joke, man. Phil Rosenthal got my joke. I needed that.
It's a good joke.
Yeah, you validated my joke. Thank you.
Anytime.
We got something we prepared especially for you, Phil.
Really?
Since you've been in the TV business for such
Yes.
a long time, we decided
Yes.
to put a game together called Battle of the Best. It's the Battle of the Best on Sway in the morning.
That boy is good.
All right, so basically what we did was we put together some list of TV shows, some of the greatest,
Yes.
and you're going to pick two at a time
Oh.
and say which one you like the most.
So I got to diss a show?
No, it's not a diss. It's just like, yeah.
Well, some of these are my friends.
Yeah, pretty
Maybe,
much.
maybe
All right.
not.
Maybe all of them.
All right, so this is one.
Okay.
This one is called Friends. Yeah, never cared for it. Okay, and
No friends on friends.
and here's the other one. All in the Family. Okay. I love Friends. Friends, the most charming cast, the so talented, great. Okay. But All in the Family.
Yeah. Speak on it.
This we have to we only those of us who do this for a living, we stand on the shoulders of everyone who came before us. One of the biggest shoulders is this show, All in the Family.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I love it so much? First of all, you can kind of look at TV history as before All in the Family and after All in the Family. Before All in the Family, all the shows were kind of silly. They were all kind of I Dream of Jeannie, and Petticoat Junction and Green Acres and
My
Brady
Three
Bunch.
Sons.
Right.
Gomer
Little
Pyle.
Willies.
Yes.
Yes.
All in the Family dealt with real issues of the day. People were shocked at what they were talking about. They were living in the real world and dealing with real. But beyond that, the reason that it stayed with me so much, was so influential, was because the relationships and the characters were so real.
Yeah.
You felt like that was a real family and real people. And that's what made me laugh harder than anything.
The realness. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
that's what I'm attracted to.
The realness.
When a show has a joke or a situation that you don't believe would happen in real life, whether we acknowledge it or not, whether it's conscious or in the back of our minds, we kind of drop out of it
yeah.
because you go, everybody does this. That would never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you wanna have it as funny as you can be, obviously, but you also want to keep it in the real world.
Phil has to teach courses. Do another one, Phil. Do another one.
Another two?
Yeah,
and these are
another
all
two.
TV shows?
They are all
Oh,
TV
you're not
shows.
you do like food like burgers or pizza?
Oh, well.
Okay.
We can.
We wanted your
so
TV
the-
expertise.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. Oh, that's funny. That guy's funny. Good Times. I love Good Times.
That's a
See,
good
now,
one.
I'm
See, that's
always going to go with the classic because that's the thing that influenced me.
Yeah.
I love both these shows. You couldn't pick more wildly different shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good Times is about a family that is struggling, really struggling, and yet they love each other. And the good times means how they feel about each other and the tightness of the family and the fun they had. And Dynamite,
Yeah, I know mine.
right? Curb Your Enthusiasm is a case for somebody presenting their very personal point of view on the world. That's Larry David.
That's Larry David.
He
right?
was the guy behind Seinfeld, and now you're seeing him, what he's really like and how he really is. It's like the spirit of Seinfeld in a person. So I can actually say that Somebody Feed Phil is my representation of myself.
There it is. Somebody feed Phil. You got to see him, too. You're so excited when you're around food. You try everything.
Yes,
The particular episode I watched, you were in Thailand, right?
that's right.
Yeah, and you were floating around. They had a floating market where you just on a boat or a canoe or whatever kind
Yes,
of boat it was.
a little canoe with a
canoe.
motor on the back, a guy driving it.
Driving into all these different vendors
Yeah.
on the water, and they
Yes.
prepare the food for you right then and there.
There's stoves on the boat.
Right.
Lady making pad thai noodles on the boat. And it's not, you eat them and you're like, this isn't just good for being on a boat on a river. It's the best pad thai I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
The best.
You said
And then
that,
you go
yeah.
down to the next boat and they're making, the satay on the skewers and oh my God, Disney's got nothing on this ride.
And then they hand you the food. They look at you like, yeah, take that. You never tasted this before in your life, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and I saw that.
But it's also where the local people do their shopping. That's how they shop. They get in their boat. They go up the canal. Here's the lady selling fruit. Here's the lady selling flowers. Here's the lady. It's amazing.
Do you worry about the hygiene at all?
I guess I do, but, there's a lot of street food in Bangkok. It's everything I had was fantastic. And there's lines of people. They're not. If they were dropping dead, there wouldn't be a line.
No, Jim, let that breathe. Let that breathe.
If they were running to the bathroom, there wouldn't be a line.
Good point.
Good point.
Good point. Interesting, real interesting show. Somebody Feed Phil. You can find it on Netflix. Phil, you got to come back, man.
Yes, please.
You're throwing me out already?
Well, it's only 30 minutes of interview.
Was it the Me Too thing?
No, but you will be
But
going
I
viral.
love hanging with you.
Okay.
What? Well, you know what we should do?
What?
We should go eat.
You take us on an episode?
I'll take you on an episode. I'll take you to lunch right now.
Well, we still got 2 hours of work.
All right. You know what? I'll wait outside.
You wait outside?
Okay, yeah.
Phil Rosenthal. Thank you, man. Phil, you on social media? People want to reach you, find out more about
Phil
this?
Rosenthal on Twitter. Phil.Rosenthal on the Instagram.
Okay. Phil, thanks for coming by, man.
Following Phil.
Yeah, that's all. Let's everybody follow Phil.
Follow Phil.
That's
I'll
a
show you
new-
the good stuff.
That's a new series. Everybody follow Phil. I like that, right? Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix. Make sure you watch it. It's available now. Up next, we got the A&R Room, and after that, Shamar Moore is going to join us at Sway in the Morning.